Hello and welcome to the Big Content Webinar Training. Today I'm going to reveal the content secrets of how I built a multi-million-dollar business using content marketing. Now, I want you to remember, results are not typical, implied, or guaranteed. I have no idea what you'll make. Most people trying to make money online make nothing. But I think if you understand what I'm about to talk to you about today with how to do content marketing and how to structure it right so that you can make money online, you're really going to like it and you could probably get some good results with it. So if you're excited about this training, make sure you smash that like button and put lots of comments and questions in the box and let's dive right in. Now, at any time you want, you can go over to getwebsitecontent.com and you can download the notes from this training along with my content templates and some other stuff. But first, I want to talk to you about today's lineup because we got a lot of stuff for you. Very important. Part number one, I'm going to give you an overview of content marketing, how it works for traffic and sales. Part number two, we're going to talk about AI, Creative Commons, content spinners, and PLR. We got it all today. Part number three, we're going to talk to you about the key to outsourcing content. This is very important if you don't want to write your own content or you don't think you're a good writer or maybe English isn't your native language or whatever it is. This is going to talk to you about how it works and we're going to show you 7 sites to outsource content. Part number 4, I'm going to talk to you about my magic weapon, which is content structured differently can make you rich. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. If you structure content differently, you can make lots of money online. We're going to give you examples of this, and we're going to show you 13 types of easy content that you can start creating. Part number 5, we're going to talk to you about how to repurpose your content, because you might find out that you write a wonderful piece of content and nobody reads it. So we want to know how to repurpose it and get it in front of the right people. So if you're excited about this, smash that like button, put some comments below, type content marketing or something like that. Let me know you are ready to go. Now, let's go ahead and dive into part number 1. Part number 1 is an overview of content marketing. How does this work? Well, let's go ahead and get our trusty pen here and talk to you about how this works. First of all, what you're going to notice is that the internet runs on content. What you are watching right now here on YouTube Live is me creating content. This is creating content live for you, and this is designed to get sales. The reason I mention getwebsitecontent.com is because I want you to put your name and email in, become part of my list. I give you cool stuff. You buy stuff down the road, and it makes me money. Now, it's very important that when you create your content, okay, you could have lots of content. You could have articles. You could have videos. There's our video. You could have a PDF. You could have reports. You could have pretty much anything, checklists, anything. Now, your idea here is to position this in front of the right people. This is what most people get wrong. They go for the wrong type of person. If you get the wrong type of person, this is not going to work. I don't care how good your content is. If you put it in front of the wrong person, it's not going to work. It's like when you try to sell stuff, right? If you try to sell like basketball shoes to a guy who doesn't play basketball, he's going to be like, I don't care how great they are. I don't care if they made Jordan get the three-pointer or whatever it is. Doesn't matter to me. I don't play basketball, hence I'm not interested in those shoes. So we have to put our content in front of the right people. This is crucial. If you get this wrong, your content marketing empire will never get off the ground because you need to focus. Now, one of the problems I see with a lot of people who do content marketing and articles and outsourcing and all this stuff is that they get in front of the right people. They are actually running a 90% waste rate. What does that mean? That means that 90% of their visitors are not pre-qualified to buy their stuff. This is extremely important. I would rather get 100 targeted people that want to buy my thing than 10,000 people who are just looking for something at random. This is extremely important because when you go through this, what we're doing is we're looking at focused content. Notice, this training here is about how to create content so you could build a business. Now, I'm not just going to go over there and teach you how to write a term paper. All right, I could get a lot of traffic if I was like, hey, here's how to write a term paper for college. All right, that would get a ton of traffic. but that's not the traffic I want. We see lots of people doing lots of things and it's not focused, which means 90% of their traffic is wasted. And what that means in real world terms is that 90% of their effort, 90% of their money, 90% of the stuff that they're putting out there to get traffic is a complete and utter waste. Now, I would venture to say that if you're out there and you're creating content and you're not making money, it's because you're focusing on the waste. We're going to talk to you about how to get rid of that waste so you can go in front of the right people that can make the decisions about your stuff. Now, it's very important that you pay attention to this 4-step process. Number 1, we're going to look at the intent. What is the intent of someone who's looking for or is going to stumble on your piece of content? What is it that they want? If they're looking up like dog breeds, what do they want, right? Are they just like comparing, oh, hey, I made a bet with my friend that a Mastiff is bigger than a Greyhound, right? It could be it, right? A lot of people settle bets on the internet and they try to, figure things out. I don't want those people. I want specific people. The next thing, we got to find out what the intent is. Number 2, we got to find out how our positioning is. How are we going to position this to get in front of the people with the intent that we want and the means to buy what we have to offer or click the links or whatever it is, okay? Number 3, we're talking about loaded content. This is why a lot of the strategies don't work because the content's not loaded. Notice how I put intent and positioning before creating content. That's right. If you're out there creating content and you don't know the intent and you don't know your positioning, you have no business creating content. Start over. Sorry. You need to start over. And then, of course, number 4 is our offer. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the intent. Now, if I was going to go for the example of dog breeds, you could see lots of people are looking up mixed breed dogs, Yorkie mix, lab mix, all kinds of stuff, right? Lots of traffic here. A lot of people searching for this. Now, I want you to look at what is the intent of someone looking this stuff up. Yorkie mixed breed, they might be looking to buy a dog. So unless you're able to sell a dog online, probably not the case because it's pretty geo-targeted, and I don't think you can ship them. It's probably not a good idea. Don't do it. Disclaimer, don't do it, right? This is an example. Calm down. But what if instead of going for all this traffic, I went for something like puppy won't? My puppy won't stop biting me. Puppy won't eat. Puppy won't stop whining. Puppy won't eat it. These are intents of people that have a dog that won't do something. So if you're focused on this and you're starting to understand, okay, I could get much more mileage out of a word like puppy won't stop biting than I can out of mixed breed dogs. Okay, does everyone understand that? Type understand or type a 1 in the box if you're understanding this. Put it in the comments if you understand the difference here. Because most people don't understand this. And I know because I look at their sites. And I'm like, hey, most of the traffic you're getting is junk traffic. The traffic I get is the exact person I want. Now, once we understand this and we understand the intent, all right, intent here is nothing. I don't know. They could be looking up anything. It could be just deciding on a puppy or whatever. And you can use this, but, it's a little bit trickier. Now, intent here is I got this puppy and I need to train it, right? Like these are all linked to puppy training. If you're selling a puppy training book, you're going to get much better mileage out of this traffic than you are the other traffic. And if you start to understand this, if you start to get this in your head, this business is going to be way easier for you because now you're going after exactly who you want. Very important. Now, the next thing is, once we find our intent, we're going to find our positioning. Okay, what am I going to do? Like, my puppy won't stop biting me. I've tried everything. Okay, so we could do this one here, and we search for it in Google, right? My puppy won't stop biting me. I tried everything. We're going to look at what's out there, and we're going to see where we could go. Like, Reddit's right here, some kind of news press release site or whatever, and dog forums, all right? Pet network, social network, all kinds of stuff. So now we look at this, and we're like, okay, I see what's going on here. There's some blogs. There's some places I can get involved. So now I know what my positioning is going to be. Maybe I'll do a video. Maybe I'll do an article. Maybe I'll have a checklist about how to train your new puppy or what to do when you get a new puppy or whatever it is. Now, armed with this, I'm going to create loaded content. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out there and I'm going to find offers. All right. For this, I'll be like, okay, pet insurance. If you got a puppy that's little and, you just got your puppy, you love your puppy, and, maybe you don't have $5,000 to fix something on your puppy, maybe you need to get pet insurance. Or maybe I'm going to do dog training or puppy training ebooks or courses or whatever it is. Now, with those in mind, I am going to create loaded content. And what I mean by loaded content is I'm not just a nice guy helping out. All right, you guys are here. You're like, Marcus does webinars every week. He does them free. He's such a nice, wonderful guy. All right, I like to think I'm kind of nice, but I'm not that wonderful. I do this because I want you to buy stuff. I do this because the traffic makes money. I do this because I have an end game in sight. I know where I'm going with it, and I don't create one piece of content without knowing where it's going, without it being loaded. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is loaded content to get you to buy stuff. That's what it's all about, and that's what I want you to do as well. Then we're going to take a look at our offers and say, what can we do with these offers? Now, when creating your content, and I want you to stick around to the end, because at the end of this training, there's going to be a big reveal that's going to blow your mind, and you'll be like, holy crap, this is amazing. Like, seriously, I can do this. All right? There's going to be a big reveal, so stick around. If you're in it to win it, type to the end if you're going to stick around to the end. We'll probably go for about an hour or 90 minutes. I don't know. I didn't get much sleep, so maybe just an hour. Okay, so when doing this, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at what our content's going to be. Now, every piece of content, every message must contain an introduction, right? So I'm going to go through it. I'm going to be like, okay, great. So my puppy won't stop biting me. Maybe you start with a story. When I had little Tuffy or Billy, whatever your puppy's name is, right? I'm going to have that puppy and he wouldn't stop biting me. And here's what I did. Okay. Then you're going to go through and you're going to have the main message. What is it I want to teach them or help them with? What is it I want to talk to them about? Next, we're going to have a conclusion. All right. Hey, this is how all this works. Here's some things to check out. This is how all this works. I got this puppy insurance, and I'm sure glad I did because it saved me $3,000 on my puppy's foot problem or whatever it is. Okay, very important. Obviously, you want to make this stuff true and legitimate. You don't want to make things up. You want to make it very, very on point. And if you do this, you can start to build. This is about building and growing. And when we get into part 2, everyone's looking for the shortcut magic weapon. And I got to tell you, people come to me, they're like, Marcus, I've been looking for a quick way to make money online for 10 years. And I'm like, well, if you look for a quick way now, is it really quick? Because it took you 10 years to get here. So it's not really that quick. All right? You've been, screwing around for 10 years and now you want to find a way. But if you had been doing a constant strategy of content for 10 years, you'd be making money by now. Like, it's almost inevitable. So you got to look at that and you got to say, I'm going to be consistent and I'm going to do what I have to do. Now, we have introduction, we have our text, we have our conclusion, and then we write what we want to say in all 3 sections, and you'll have a summary of your blog post and everything, and you can organize it and everything like that. So it's very important that you look at this, and it's very important that you focus on intent. What does my reader, what does the person consuming this content ultimately want? Okay? Positioning, where am I going to put this? What am I going to do with this piece of content? Next, loaded content. We're going to load it. Every step along the way, we're going to have affiliate links. We're going to have offers. We're going to have resources. That's very important. And then, of course, we're going to have our offers. Okay? So when we're building our content, this is the structure you want to use. We're going to talk to you about that a little bit more once we get into the outsourcing and the content structure differently. Because again, you look at it and it's like there's lots of videos here on YouTube that go crazy viral, get lots of traffic, and you look at it and it's like it's not that much different than a blog post. It's not that much different than what I read on Reddit. It's not that much different than this. It's not that much different than that. And it's really not. It's all their intent, their positioning, and the structure. And that is the key. If you structure this differently, you win. And you have to structure it based on what the intent is and based on where the people are. Very important. Now, part number 2, let's talk about AI, Creative Commons, content spinners, and PLR. Now, I did a video a couple days ago where we tested one of the new AI content creators. All right, I paid like $70 for this thing. I generated 5 articles with it, and you have to pay per article too. So it's like $70 plus $1.25 per article. And I got to tell you, the articles were absolute crap. Why? Because until AI gets smarter, it's not going to get the intent. It's not going to get the positioning. It will never create loaded content, and it's not going to make it around your offer. It's just going to spin out a bunch of junk that hopefully will get you a search engine ranking for a short time, and then Google will be like, yeah, your content's crap. You go to the bottom of the list, okay? So very important. We got to look at this. We got to start to understand exactly what's going on. Now, AI, from what I have found, is not the way to go because it's never going to provide the creativity of having your offers. Again, you could spend 10 hours trying to get AI content, and I guarantee if you spend 10 hours doing good content, I'm going to win. 9 times out of 10, 100 times out of 100, I'm going to win because I know what I'm doing, I know who I want, and I know exactly what I want to do. And before I sit down to create content, I have to know these things. So far, the AI testers that I used did not work, okay? Next, let's talk about Creative Commons. There's lots of people out there that say, download YouTube videos and re-upload them. All right, well, that's not really your content. And again, it's not focusing on the offers. It's not focusing on the intent. It's not focusing on building something of value for your people. What most people are teaching out there, all those courses that are like $12, $20, $50, even $2,000, is stuff that's short-lived, and it's not focusing on the user. At the end of the day, it's all about the user. If I open a restaurant and I serve crappy food, if I don't have like anything good, word's gonna get around and they'll be like, hey guys, you know what? We don't wanna eat here. You gotta have it, all right? Now, with the exception of a hook, like maybe convenience or something, because some of the restaurants that are the top restaurants in the US are crap, but, they're convenient. You go there, you get the same thing. It's the exact same thing every way. Now, Creative Commons is basically just copying stuff. My advice, don't do it. Make your own content, build your own stuff, make it work, okay? Very important. Next up, we have content spinners. Content spinners are very popular. However, I think they are utter junk, right? Content spinning is not writing content focused on a visitor. You need to remember that this, at the end of the day, people are consuming it. At the end of the day, people are watching this video because they want to learn about content. If I came on here and had a bunch of rehashed, spun, automatic stuff, you would probably all leave by now, right? It's hard to keep people's attention. It's very hard to keep people's attention. And the robots aren't going to do it. And the spinners aren't going to do it. Yeah, you might get a little traffic. And this is something I learned early on in my career. When I first started SEO stuff, we would do this thing called doorway pages, and we'd make a page that would lead them to an offer, and we'd try to get the traffic from it. And it was kind of like a hack or a tactic or whatever, and it wasn't focused on good quality content. I made some money back in like 2003, 2004, but at the end of the day, I didn't have anything of value. It was just a trick. That's all it was. Now, 20 years later, 17 years later, the search engines are smarter. They're focusing on people. They're watching what you're interested in. Google, Yahoo, YouTube, all these places are focused on what people are consuming. They're watching how long you stay on a blog article. They're watching how long you watch a video. They're paying attention to all this stuff. And if people are not looking at your content, they're saying that's a bad user experience, and they're not going to push your content out to the people. We see this everywhere, from Instagram to Pinterest to whatever. It's got to be focused on what people want. Now, lastly, another trick people have is PLR, which is private label rights, which is I go and buy the rights to a bunch of articles or an ebook or a PDF or whatever, and I use that as content on my website. Now, my advice to you is never, ever use PLR as content for traffic from the search engines. Don't do it, all right? You can change it, you can make it your own, but don't just slap it up there and expect traffic, because what's going to happen is other people are doing the same thing. It's going to be duplicate content. It's not going to provide the good user experience. And at the end of the day, you're not going to have anything. And what I want to do is I want to set you guys up so that you could build something of value, so that every day is putting money into your future bank account. And that's what this is about. Think about this with me. If you could sit down for 2 hours today and create a good piece of content that would make you $1 a day every day, how many of you would do it? Type $1 in the box. And you might be saying, Marcus, $1? I mean, I can't even get a Slurpee for $1. What are you talking about? But think about it. How many of you guys are going to go to work today and make $365 or less for 2 hours of work? Nobody. But what I just showed you, if you could focus today and say, today, my goal is to make a piece of content that generates $1 a day every day, what's going to happen is this is going to start to build. And you're going to notice a lot of stuff, right? You're going to go out there and you're going to say, okay, my goal is to take 2 hours or whatever it is. Maybe some of you guys are slower, maybe you guys are faster. And I'm going to make this piece of content. And the goal is for this content to just make $1 a day every day. That's $365 a year. Okay? Now, what happened is I just freed myself up, and I could do another one the next day, and another one the next day, and the next day, and the next day. And if all of them generate an average of $1 a day every day, at the end of 10 days, you're now at $3,650 a year. And then the next one, let's say we do 100, $36,000 a year. Now, what you're going to notice here is that not everyone's going to produce $1. Some might do a penny. Some might do $20. Some might do $5. Some might do nothing. Okay? But what we're going to do is we're going to focus on intent, and we're going to say, I only want words that I know are going to get the traffic I want, that generate the income that I want. And if you focus on this, what's going to happen is you are going to get better and better and better. And pretty soon you'll have some of these that take off and go nuts. Right? It's the same thing with YouTube. You make a bunch of videos, you learn how to do it, you learn how to talk to your audience, you watch what they do, you build and you grow. And some people are making a fortune at it. I make a small fortune at it, right? Some people are making big fortunes. And this is how it works, right? You look at the example. We did a training here on the Penny Hoarder blog a couple of weeks ago. And the Penny Hoarder blog sold for $102 million. And this was a guy who just started a blog. Some of you guys say, well, Marcus, I don't even have money for web hosting. He started on free web hosting, and then he transferred it over. Now, you look at that, and what did he do? He stayed consistent. He didn't look for the next big, shiny, make money. You're going to get automated money in your money pack right now. No, he went and he said, I am going to do this slow and methodically. Some of them might take off. I've had blog posts after doing this 21 years. I've had some where I set them up. Makes like $1,000 the first day. Results not typical, implied, or guaranteed. The chances of you making money are like 1% or less. Most people make money because most people don't put content in the right order. They don't get in front of the right people. They're not building a business. They're horsing around. That's what they're doing. So you could horse around or you can get paid. It's your choice. It's your choice. Right? I was recently watching a video. All these people going crazy about this investment platform network marketing company. And all these top YouTubers were talking about it. And I'm like, how do you guys promote that crap? Right? Like, seriously, there's this investment platform and they're like, okay, well, you get paid commission to get people to invest. So first of all, it's like you pay commission. They pay commission for you to invest, which means half your investment is gone right now, right? It's gone. It's literally gone. And then you expect to get some kind of return. Okay, that's a bunch of horse crap. It does not work. And what you got to do is you got to focus on providing valuable content and getting people into legitimate stuff that actually works. And guess what? I've tested this. The last couple weeks I did webinars and people say, oh, Marcus, you got to do a sales webinar. You need the perfect webinar script. You got to have the story. You got to fluff it up. You got to make some stats up and you got to lie to people. And I'm like, I don't want to lie. So what I did, I fired up my software and I made some good content and answered questions. That's all I did. Best selling ever. Best selling. Why? Because I'm literally just going out there and creating content that people want to know about. That's what they want. Because they're like, hey, there we go. This guy out here, he wants to know how to stop his puppy from biting him. That's what he wants. He needs a puppy training book. He needs this, he needs that. And if you look at that, you focus on realistic stuff. and you're focusing on real world problems, and you go out there and you say, hey, this is the tip, this is how you do it, and you structure it. So when going for AI, when going for Creative Commons, content spinners, and PLR, don't do it. Write your own content. Well, Marcus, I don't speak good English. Well, learn how to. People learn languages all the time. Marcus, I'm not a good writer. Try your best. The only way to be a good writer is to write a lot of stuff. The only way to be a good speaker is to speak a lot. Right? People say, Marcus, you got away with words. You're good at speaking. I wasn't always this way. I took speech class in high school because it was way funner, more fun. See, I didn't even take English class. It was way more fun than the other classes, and it was an easy A. I liked it. It was good. It worked. And I learned skills. All right? Learn the skill of writing. If you don't want to do it, then maybe hire people. If you don't have money to hire people, then figure something out because you need to put good content out there. Right? You're not just going to go buy a $12 ebook and get rich tomorrow. You're not going to go and invest in these programs that are legit scams, and they're not legit. They're legitimately a scam, and get rich. The way you're going to make money is by building something slow and methodically and going out there and figuring out what people want. Now, is that to say you can't do something fast? No, absolutely. You could do something fast. You could put up a PDF, a good report, a video, whatever, and you could get traffic and you can make money like that same day if you wanted. Again, results not typical, implied, or guaranteed. Most people will make nothing. But if you understand this, it's about intent, positioning, loaded content, and an offer. That's all it is. That's it. Right? That's the magic sauce. That's the secret. That's the secret that other people are charging you $2,000 for, $3,000. That's it. You go out there and you build it. Now, part number 3, let's talk about outsourcing content. Now, I outsource content all the time. I've spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars last month alone outsourcing content. That's what I do. It works, right? I go out there and I have people do stuff in a really simple way. Now, the key to outsourcing content, when you go and outsource content, the places I like to use are like Hire Writers or iWriter. Okay? The key to outsourcing content is to be specific about what you want. So if I'm going to go out there and I'm going to say, hey, I want someone to write about the 100 websites that will help you do at this, or about 5 ways to help your puppy stop biting, or 6 ways to help your puppy go outside, or whatever it is, right? I'm going to go out there and I'm going to be specific about what I want. All right? I'm going to pay them. I'll pay $5, $6, couple bucks, sometimes $100. You'll see an example at the end of this that'll work really good. Okay? And we look at this and we say the key to outsourcing is to tell them exactly what we want. When I go out there and I outsource content, right? I tell them, I say, these are the instructions I want. Here's some examples. And if I'm doing a numerical list, like, hey, the top X amount of things, I'm going to give them a random number, right? I'm not going to give them 100 or 50 because other sites have that and the chances of them copying it are going to be pretty high. But if I give them a random number, that makes them have to do a little bit of digging, a little bit of work. And that is what gives me something custom and good and unique. And we're going to show you an example, a live working example of content that I outsourced that's making me money right now while you're watching this. Right? How many of you guys want to see that? You're like, give me the reveal. I want to see this. Like, you literally got content and it's making you money right now as I watch this. Yes, it is. And we're going to show you how that works. Now, the key to outsourcing is to understand exactly what you want from your visitor. And the way you're going to do that is by finding your keyword. So if I go out there and I say, puppy won't stop biting me, I've tried everything. What I'm going to do is I'm first going to come up with a title. I want to come up with a title. What would my title be? Well, maybe it would be Stop Your Puppy from Biting Once and For All, Learn the Truth. Okay, and then I'll tell them, hey, give me 7 or 8 ways to stop a puppy from biting. Very simple. Right? That's all I do. I take that to the outsourcer and I tell them, hey, this isn't an SEO article. This isn't junk. Make sure it's an article written for humans. And then I go and I find 3 or 4 good examples and then I tell them what I want. So in this one, I spent $105 on these articles just yesterday, right? Live example here. And then I gave them some examples. I said, hey, we check for plagiarism, make sure there's no filler, no junk, and run it through all these tools so that I can get my good content. And I did a very, very specific thing that's going to give them what I want to give them. Okay, very important. Like, if you don't tell them, they're not going to do it for you. Article writers are there to write articles. They're not there to make you rich. That's, if they can make rich off the articles, they just write the articles themselves. That's what they do, right? But they don't know how to do that. So your job is to direct them. This is what I want. This is how I want it. This is exactly what I want you to do. And if you do that, you'll get some good content. Very important. Now, when I outsource, there's several sites. The two that I use are Hire Writers and iWriter. Those are my two favorites. Hire Writers is good because I could pay a little bit extra and get them in 6 hours, like this one here. I paid a little bit extra to get these in 6 hours so that I could use them on the training today to show you how it worked. There's another one I did too. I'll have to look it up here on a different screen to show you an example of something else. Let me just go ahead and approve it here. Make sure it's good. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. So we'll accept it. So yeah, when we go through, we're like, okay, this is what I want them to do. Now you can use iWriter, you could use Text Broker, Hire Writers, Constant Content, Crowd Content, Upwork, Freelancer, Writer Access. You could use Fiverr. Fiverr is really good for this stuff as well. And when you focus on this, the key to outsourcing is to have your title and tell them what you want and be specific. You could be specific. One of the examples I'm going to show you, I was pretty specific, but they didn't give me exactly what I wanted. But I'm going to show you how it works, probably because, you know, doing a 2,000-word article on the Taco Bell Cheesy Gordita Crunch isn't really... I mean, how do you come up with 2,000 words about that thing? All right, we'll show you in a minute how that works. And by the way, doing reviews of fast food items, there's people making millions doing this stuff. Like, seriously, it'd blow your mind. All right? So we got to look at this and we got to start to understand exactly what's going on. These are the places you could go. Again, if you want these notes, go to getwebsitecontent.com. We'll have these notes for you with the content template. This is the template that I use. We're going to give you this over there as well as some other stuff. It's not ready yet. Put your name and email in. When it's ready, I will email it out to you. Very simple, okay? Now, part number 4 is content structured differently can make you rich, okay? Very important. If you understand this, it's game over. Because here's the deal. There's lots of content out there, right? You go out there and you're like, okay, how many pages are out there about the Cheesy Gordita Crunch Taco Bell thing and the calories in the Cheesy Gordita Crunch, right? And we look at that and we're like, okay, there's lots of stuff out there. But if you look this up in your keyword tool, what you're going to notice is that there's people looking this up. So 16,000, 1,700. Okay, a lot of people looking it up, very low competition. What you'll notice, if y'all do a YouTube search for Cheesy Gordita Crunch, there are videos with millions of views. Okay, so what's the difference? Like, what happens? Was this video literally in front of these people for like, what, 5 years to get that much traffic? No. What the difference is the content structured differently got more eyeballs. Very simple. And what I'm doing right now live is content structured differently. Okay, that's going to blow you away. At the end, I'm going to be like, hey, check this out. Content structured differently can make you rich. So more eyeballs. What can you do to make your content stand out? What can you do to position your content in front of the people that are going to buy the stuff or click the links that make you money? All right, the key here is to get as many people as possible. I doubt there's anyone on TikTok talking about the Gordita Crunch. There might be, I don't know. I don't do TikTok much, right? But I doubt there's that many. There's probably not that many on Pinterest. There's probably not that many on recipe sites. And we look at this and we're like, okay, how can I structure this differently? Can I make it a video? Can I make it a downloadable PDF? Can I make it something of value for them? What can I do to structure this differently? And when we look at that, we're going to look at the 13 ways, types of content that you can use. Number 1 is your publication, right? What could you do? You could do like a blog post. You could make it the way that people search. So like Cheesy Gordita Crunch calories, right? I probably have like a little calorie chart or something like that. Or I probably have like a little list. Or maybe a comparison. Here's the Gordita Crunch versus the, you know, Big Mac or whatever, okay? And we look at that. Number 2 is using list posts. Here are the top 10 ways to do this. Here are 5 sites you can do this. Here are this many things to lose weight. Here are 5 ways to get your puppy to stop biting. These work like crazy. And if you repurpose this on YouTube, you could do a list video, right? Number 3, standard blog post. You could do a standard blog post about a topic where you're just talking about a topic. Number 4, you can do case studies and stories, right? You could find out what other people do, like the video that I did, which we turned into content, which we put on the website, about the penny hoarder blog, right? That was like a case study on a different business that's doing something. So like if you're looking for stories and stuff, there's plenty of them out there. You just need to know where to look and how to structure it in a way that makes sense, that people want to read it. And of course, it's ethical and not copying, right? We never want to copy or plagiarize. We always want to create our own stuff. Number 5, checklists. There is a video in the Blog Profit Network where we talk about checklists that's really good. And we talk about how to go through and do the checklist marketing method where you could build checklists for people and you make them in PDFs. Like here's a bankruptcy checklist, right? Now, if I have that checklist, I attract people who are going to go through bankruptcy. And those people are worth a lot of money to certain people. Here's a new apartment checklist, a new house checklist, a new job checklist, a moving checklist. Did you know that moving is like really expensive? I had to get them trucks and people and everything. It's expensive stuff. And they pay lots of money to affiliate marketers. Number 6, you could create beginner's manuals, right? You make a little here's a beginner manual to stop your puppy from biting. Here we go. You do a good job. You make that out there. And again, if you focus on this, maybe you have a checklist that goes gangbusters and it makes $100 a day or whatever. Again, we don't know what you're going to make, but you're never going to make anything if you don't try. You got to go out there and you got to try. And when you try, you don't come to me and say, Marcus, internet marketing doesn't work. I didn't get $1 million overnight. Well, when did you put your post up? 3 days ago. Well, why don't you wait and see what it does? Most people, it didn't get any traffic. I'll just delete it. And, Bob over here says there's a way to make money overnight by sleeping. And so I'm just going to go to bed and hope I get money in the morning. And they wake up and they watch another video. It's like, dude, slow and steady wins the race. You got to do this. You got to make it work. Can you get results fast? Yes, you can. There are tricks and tactics and things you can do to get results fast. Like on my content, I put live chat. You want to make sales? Get a bunch of content, get some traffic, put live chat, say, hey, what kind of puppy you got? Great. Here's a book on how to train your puppy. Go buy it, right? Pretty simple. And we look at that and we make it work. Beginners works well. Another one is controversial or drama. Like a lot of people talk about stimulus checks or politics or whatever's going out there, right? And you look at it and you're like, okay, I could do that. Number 8 is interviews. There's lots of people that would be willing to do an interview, or you could summarize an interview, or you could do reports on the interview or whatever it is. Lots of stuff out there. Number 9 is reports. Here's a free report out of this. Here's a free report for this. Number 10 is graphics and infographics, right? If you have the right graphic or infographic, the thing could go crazy if you position it right. Again, it's all about positioning. I don't do this by accident. I'm not an accidental marketer. Maybe in the beginning I was a little accidental because I didn't know what I was doing. But after 21 years of doing this, I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm going to put this in front of these people. Here's what I expect. And I'm usually within a couple of cents of my guess, right? Because I know what's going on. I position it to the people and I know what their intent is. We are not guess marketers. We're not throwing a bunch of stuff at the wall to see what sticks. No, most people do that, and most people will teach that. It's not what I teach. It's not what I do. It's not it at all. We need to go for who we want. It's very important because here, when trying to grow my channel here, I could go for a lot of traffic. Like I could make videos on, make money overnight doing nothing. I could do that, right? And sometimes I do stuff like that. But is that the traffic I want? Like a lot of people, they do make money if you're broke. Okay, do I want to teach broke people how to make money? No, because they can't buy my product. So why would I do that? Or they target countries that have lots of traffic, but they don't have the means to buy their product, right? I'd rather have a tight-knit group that I monitor that can work really well. I don't want everyone. I want specific people. I want a specific group that wants what I have to offer. Very important. And we could do this with infographics, graphics, all kinds of stuff. You can build data graphics, all kinds. There's a channel here on YouTube that literally, I think it's called Data is Beautiful or something like that. And they just show data. That's it. There's nobody talking. There's no one on camera. It's just data with music in the back, obviously royalty-free music. And bam, there they go, right? Number 11, you could do guest posts. You could have people guest post or create user-generated content, forums, videos, articles, reports, whatever. Very simple. Number 12 is data-driven content where you're compiling data. Here are the statistics of the top people who go through bankruptcy. Here are the statistics of this. Here's that. Learn to do the research or have someone else do it for you. And big reveal is coming up pretty soon, and it's going to show you how to do this. Number 13 is product reviews. Product reviews are great. Right? You can make a whole business out of reviewing products. Very simple. Do them ethically. Do them in a good way. Don't do junk. Don't tarnish the brand name. Do a good review. Like take what you got and you're like, hey, I'm going to review the pipe tool, or I'm going to review the microphone here, or whatever it is. And you look at it and you're like, I can do this. I can make this work. And if you like this, smash the like button. All right, so this is what we're going to do. These are 13 types of content. Now, when you do this, we're going to also look at repurposing our content, because what's going to happen is you're going to have something, right? You go out there and maybe you spend some money, okay? You spend 20 bucks on an article or whatever, and it's a good article. And you're like, here's my article. It's got the 13 ways to stop puppy biting. Puppy bite, okay? And you're like, okay, this is pretty cool. So now I got this report. Now, once you have this report, even if it doesn't take off right away, you got something of value. This is your resource, okay? Your resource is money in the bank. You just don't know it yet. There's money in the bank. Simple. I got a resource over at getwebsitecontent.com. You can download the resource, which is this. It's my content template. How many of you guys are like, dude, I want that content template? Type content template in the box. You can take that content template and you could go order content, which will make you money, hopefully, right? But it'll actually get you good content, right? So you look at that and you're like, okay, so Marcus has this content thing or this puppy bite, okay? Now, I can take that and say, well, you know, I could turn that into a video. That's not that hard to do. I can make an infographic. Okay, I can make an infographic. Here's 5 things for your puppy not to bite, or whatever. You shorten it, obviously, because you don't want the hugest infographic on the planet. Or I could do a list. Or I could do a PDF. I could do an audio. Right? I can do a report. I could do a whatever. Right? And we're like, okay, or I could do an Excel spreadsheet. Right? Lots of niches you guys are in. You can make like an Excel spreadsheet. And you look at this, and these are valuable things. And you say, well, Marcus, what about that content template? Well, that's something I've been using for a while. And you look at it, and it's like, all you guys want it. Well, I'm going to make you put your name and email for it. And after you put your name and email, I'm going to try to sell you on my Blog Profit Network, which is a new course that is awesome. You guys will learn about that in a minute. You could go to getwebsitecontent.com. And repurposing your content is key to making this work. Because what you're going to see is not everything works the way you want it right out of the gate. So you're going to have to go out there and you're going to have to adjust and you're going to have to adapt and you're going to be resilient, right? Do you want to do this? Do you want to make it work? Now, I want to show you some examples of some content I had written and what we're doing here. Okay, so one of the examples here was the cheesy gordita crunch recipe, right? This one here for cheesy gordita crunch recipe, or calories, sorry. We could actually go ahead and view it. And you could see it talks about, let's put it in a notepad so you guys could see it here. I think it's about 2,000 words, and it's actually pretty decent. Let's open a notepad. And so I told them exactly what to do. I used my content template. And I was like, hey, tell me about this. And they got the grams, they got the cholesterol, they got the keywords, and you could see that they outlined it pretty cool. The calories, different items on the menu, and bam, it's a good piece of content. Now, I already rank for this keyword, which was a kind of a joke. I did a joke on a webinar where I'm like, hey, I think I could rank for this word. And I set it up and it literally has no content and it ranks number 30. All I did was make a title that said Cheesy Gordita Crunch. And you could search for it in Google. I think we're number 30 or 40 for Affiliate Marketing Dude, which is a site that has nothing to do with Gordita Crunches. But we're going to put that up there and see how it does. Now, some other examples I got, and I got all these just last night. I paid extra to have them done in 6 hours. Here's one. And you're going to notice here, 7 websites to outsource content and article writing. Surprise, ladies and gentlemen, this webinar was outsourced. Let that sink in. I didn't create the notes for this webinar. I didn't create these lists. This webinar, this training that's going to make me money and is making me money right now was outsourced. That's right. Here's the article where I got the 7 websites to outsource content. iWriter, Text Broker. Look at it. There it is. Right? This was outsourced. Why? Because I wanted to show you guys that this stuff works. And this article here can be turned into its own video. 7 websites to outsource content. This other article I got, how to write SEO for blog posts. Right? There we go. 2,100 words. The other was about 2,083 words, right? So now we got like 4,000 words here. Here's how to write content. Shows you how to write content. It's actually formatted pretty good. And bada bing, there we go. Check it out. You say, well, Marcus, where did you get that list of 13 content structured differently? Well, I told him I wanted a title for 13 types of content that drive massive traffic. Proper publication, list posts, ultimate guide. This was outsourced. How many of you guys are like, holy crap, are you telling me that right now, live, you actually paid for people to write content last night, all right, because it was late. I think I paid $130, let's see, $105. Okay, so $105 for 3 of them, very specific, and it costs extra because they were late. Usually they're like $8 or $11 or something like that. But I didn't want to wait, and I procrastinated on making notes for this webinar, so I had them make it for me. And we look at this, and it's like, hot damn, you can make this work. And all you got to do is get that content template and start focusing on what you want to do. Now, I want you to remember, these are not perfect. These are not perfect, okay? No content writer is going to make stuff perfect unless you pay them a lot of money. I had a content writer that was about $4,000 a month. And even that wasn't completely perfect, right? It was like maybe a 6 out of 10 perfect. All right. So you're going to have to do some finesse. You're going to have to edit these like proper publication. This one doesn't make sense. I'm probably going to replace that one. The others are pretty good. This one's pretty good here. And it's like, hey, we look at that and it's like, bam, there you go. You go and you make it work and you do it and you make it happen. And this training was outsourced. All I did was turn on my microphone and talk about what they did. Now, granted, I've been doing this a while, so I know this stuff, but you don't have to get on for an hour. I could go through and I could make a 10-minute video about this. I could literally just read this and put some slides to it and make a 10-minute, or if I'm like, well, Marcus, I don't like my voice. I don't like how I sound. Go to Fiverr, have someone read this for you. We do it all the time, right? And you go out there and you're like, hey, I can start putting content out in a real world way that helps people. And when we understand this, and I wanted to make this kind of dramatic so you could see this is making money right now. Right now. And if you build and you grow and you focus, it's all going to come together for you and it's all going to start to work. But you have to be willing to look at this stuff objectively. Look at it through the eyes of your viewer. Look at it through the eyes of who you want to reach and what you want to say and how you're going to make money. And when you do that, it will start to work for you. You could go over to getwebsitecontent.com. We're going to have one of the content templates there. And if you like my training, if you've been watching this stuff for a while and you're like, Marcus, I want to get started with you, but your courses are kind of expensive and they're worth every penny, by the way. We have actually made an inexpensive way for you to get started, and it's phenomenal. Like, I guarantee you right now, I'm like a tenth of where I want to be with this course. There's a lot we're going to add to it. Right now, it's worth more than other people's $2,000 courses. And I got to tell you, it's not $2,000. So what you're going to do is you could go over to blogprofitnetwork.com. On blogprofitnetwork.com, right here, let's see, Blog Profit Network. All right. So on blogprofitnetwork.com, you'll see what you're going to get. You get a bunch of plugins and cool stuff. You can click the add to cart button. You can sign up. There are calls every Tuesday. That's right. Every Tuesday, I hop on a Zoom. We look at your sites. We look at your content. We look at what you're doing, and we help you out. Just yesterday, someone was like, hey, I'm going to give you the logins for my site. I want you to redesign it. We redesigned it. And all they pay is $127 and $37 a month. And they can cancel anytime they want, right? Simple, pretty easy. You're like, hey, do I want to be able to talk to someone every week? Do I want to be able to say, hey, I'm thinking about getting this content written. What do you think? What would you do? And I'll tell you what I think and what I do. Anyone who's here, who's been on the Tuesday trainings, tell us what you think of them. They're phenomenal. They go through everything. Now, once you get in there, after you sign up for Blog Profit Network, you're going to go into the forum. This is a forum-driven community where we're all helping each other out based on the trainings that I do. So like right here, this is where you get the Tuesday calls. You can watch the replays of the Tuesday calls. We have them every week. We put the replays in there, and they're actually indexed, so you could search and say, hey, I want to learn about list building, or I want to learn about this, or content, or whatever, okay? Now, under Welcome to the Blog Profit Network, you're going to see how to start your first blog in 15 minutes, the $1,000 fast plan. This video, this one's, everyone needs to see this. Goes through what I would do if I had to make $1,000 fast. Again, are you guaranteed to make $1,000 fast? Hell no. No one's going to guarantee you're going to make anything. But if I had to do it, this is what I'd do. You can also be an affiliate, which is cool. Then we go through, we have special deals and announcements. Like right now, there's a deal on high-ticket niches in there. You could go through the blog basic training, which will show you how to do your WordPress. Everything. It's all video driven. You can even ask questions down below. You can click the links, all kinds of stuff in there. We also have the Voodoo plugins. Now, these are custom blog plugins that I had created for me, right? I spent over $100,000 building these softwares out, and we actually give them to you, right? Because I'm like, hey, why hoard them for myself when you guys can use them? We got stuff like the funnel Voodoo, which will turn your blog into a funnel, the button Voodoo, which puts the buttons that actually get clicks. I'm not talking about like 2% click-through rate like the other guys. I'm talking like 60 to 80% click-through rate. Slide Voodoo, Click Voodoo, Voodoo Announcer, Social Profit Voodoo, the Survey Voodoo, and more. We actually have about 20 plugins we're loading up on there. You just go in there and you're like, hey, I'm going to download the plugin, put it on your blog, and you're ready to go. Very simple, very cool. We also have blog themes. There's tons of themes that you can customize and edit. If you want to make money blogging and you like my training, you need to be in the Blog Profit Network. It's just, there's no two ways about it, right? You got the Market Flipper training. You got the money reports where we upload different PDFs and reports that I had written. Some of them I wrote myself. Some of them I had people write based on my stuff. Really cool, right? And you can download them. You can print them, whatever you want. Very simple. And you go in here, and this has everything you need, right? Like, remember how I told you about the content strategies of press releases, landing pages, checklists, the money code training? It's all in there. Right? And you go in and you're like, hey, this has everything I need. And then you go on the Tuesday calls and you ask important stuff and you get help. Very, very important. Dan says on the Tuesday calls, he'll tell you how to improve your site. If you ask on Tuesdays, it's terrific. Exactly. Like the number one problem people have is they haven't been around 21 years, so they don't know what they're doing. So what we do is we tell you exactly what you need to do. And you could go to blogprofitnetwork.com. I haven't even made a sales video yet because this is brand new. You just go here, click on this. It'll take you to our ClickBank order page. You order here. You can cancel whenever you want. You can stay as long as you want. And I think for $37 a month, that's like $1 a day to learn all this stuff, to be able to talk to someone every week. Like, hey, Marcus, I put this up. It didn't work. What do you think? Hey, I did this. Didn't work. What do you think? Or I did do this and it did work. How would you make it do better? Very, very important. And not to mention, I'm also going to load 5 different content templates in there for you that you can start using. All right, let's take some questions. Azad says, where do you get the unique images that rank for your website? I don't focus on image ranking, but if I do, I create them myself in a tool like Snagit or any other image creator. There's lots of image creators. There's free, paid. Doesn't really matter as long as you get the job done and you brand it so they go back to your site. Very important, right? And if you do this, you'll get results. So let's take some questions. You guys could go to getwebsitecontent.com, put your name and email in the box. It'll take you over there. And then after you put your name and email, it's going to take you to, put a real name and email in there. But after you do that, it's going to take you to the page to sign up for Blog Profit Network. I would highly recommend you do that. I think for a measly investment of $127, I think that's a pretty good value for everything you're getting and everything we're going to add. And the Tuesday calls. Like, if anything else, join for the Tuesday calls because those are incredible. So you can go and you can do that. Very important. And then when you're doing your content, again, remember, that's what I just did. I just outsourced content. I made a webinar on the outsource content, and I drove you to stuff that makes money. Why? Because I know the intent of someone searching for how to do content wants to make money online. Now, I could have done a video on make money online, but that's really competitive, and it's not going to get the people that I want, right? It's going to be difficult to get traffic on that. But if I do something specific, I get the exact people I want. Very important. Selena says, does the Tuesday training include social media posting? Yeah, you could ask whatever you want on the Tuesday training, like anything you want. The only thing I don't do is like risky sites. I don't look at those. You know, I just don't. It's my own personal thing, or anything like that. But if you're doing social media, you just ask. Say, hey, this is what I want to do. How would you promote it? And what you're going to get is real world strategies. Like some people walk away from the Tuesday call with a business strategy, and they're like, now I know what to do. And then they show up next Tuesday. And if you want to be in it to win it, show up. Show up and make it work. Mike says, do you have a paid Ahrefs account, and do you have suggestions on other comparable keyword information for less? Ahrefs is the industry standard. It's the best. We do have some tutorials on my site. You can go to affiliatemarketingdude.com, and we have a couple of options for people that don't want to pay that much for it. So yeah. Okay. Will my content rank if it has one keyword targeted or 1% density? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it all depends on the keyword. Like, I can rank a keyword that has low competition. Doesn't matter if it's 1 word, 10 words, whatever. If the competition's low, then I can do it. Like the cheesy gordita crunch, yeah, I could do that. Robert says, is the Lyft and Uber page is an example of how to structure content? Yeah, exactly. So like if you were to go and search for free ad forum, right, like this, okay, you're going to see my post here. This is an outsourced content. Okay, I didn't write this. This was outsourced, and it gets traffic every day. It ranks for free ad forum. And this term, actually, I think it gets like 900 or 1,000 searches a month or something like that. And then we also have Lyft affiliate program. Okay, Lyft affiliate program, we rank right here. And this, again, was outsourced, right? And we're going to show you how to do all this. Right, all you got to do is go to getwebsitecontent.com. You'll get that, and you can sign up for the Blog Profit Network as well. But as you can see, this stuff's working right now. Like right now, while you're watching this, you're seeing an example of outsourced content. On these pages that are actually ranking, you're seeing the example of outsourced content. And it's very simple to do. You just need to focus. You cannot expect your outsourcers to make you rich. That's not what they're there for. You're the rich, right? You're the one who does the stuff. You got to direct them. Health Advise, are there free websites, example, classified ads, groovy ads, all these free sites, any good that people promote and post on? From my experience, with the exception of like Craigslist and stuff like that, which has rules, and you always got to follow the rules on any site you're posting on and be ethical and have an affiliate disclaimer. What I've found is free classified ad websites mostly get traffic from people posting free classifieds. So it's not actually visitors, it's just people posting, which isn't the traffic I want. I did a test. There's actually a video here on my channel. Subscribe, click the bell, check that video out. It's about a test I did where I posted on free ad forums to see what traffic I'd get, and I literally got like less than 1 visitor. I didn't get any. Okay, what about backlinks? You don't really need backlinks if you have the right keyword. But you can get backlinks, and we teach you all about that in the Blog Profit Network, blogprofitnetwork.com. I have so many links out there on ads and nothing. Yeah, it's exactly what I said. Free classified ad sites usually don't work. You'd be better off outsourcing a good content, putting it on Medium, or putting it on your own blog, or making a video. Okay, are there free keyword ranking tools? And if so, what do you recommend? I think Ubersuggest has a free version. There's also like keywords something. Just search for free keyword tools. You'll find them. But I mean, you know, you get what you pay for. How do I find the links for Tuesday calls? Good question. What you're going to do is you're going to go into the forum. So after you sign up, you'll go into the forum here. And then under Tuesday calls, we'll have the link each week. How do you keep your rankings on top? Well, you can update them, or if you're going for a non-competitive keyword, you'll probably stay on the top for a long time anyway. But get a good keyword tool that'll help you. Carol, I'm really trying to write the content, but I wonder how to pick the keywords for the subcategories. Well, you need to look at your niche and find out what's out there. That's something I would say go on the Tuesday call, and we'll pull up a keyword report. We'll show you different ins and outs. And, you know, you could show up every Tuesday and be like, give me a keyword this week. I'll give you a keyword, and you'll make it work. Okay, I noticed something about WordPress. You do the thinking, they do the writing. Boom, you got it. It's exactly what you want to do. You direct them. And if you could direct people, I mean, it's cheap. It's literally cheap to get traffic or content. It's not that expensive. It's your job to position it. It's your job to make it. Like this is all content I already had. Like I already had these videos. I already had this stuff. I stuck it into the Blog Profit Network, made it inexpensive, and boom. Now I'm going to have another probably 6 or 7 figure business. I don't know. Depends on how well it does, but I think it'll probably be close to 7, right? And it's something valuable. And what do? I show up. Like, hey, I'm here every Tuesday to answer your questions. You could make a webinar as content. People they don't even think about this. Like, what if you did a webinar on how to, help your puppy? No one's doing that. You do it and you're like, hey, here you go. Very simple. Let's see here. Any SEO tips? Yeah, get the right keyword. That's the number one SEO tip. If you have the wrong keyword, don't even bother. Treasure Island. Most of the time, people search sentences that are not well structured and they still find what they want. That's fine. We're going after stuff that's low competition that we know will work. In WordPress, I saw something that I could make my own classified ad site. So the people paying for upgraded ads, I assume they're the ones making the money. Probably, yeah. And I did pay for an ad on some of the popular classified ad sites, and I didn't get crap. I didn't even see my ad. I just basically wasted $50 or whatever it was. Siva, if I missed the call, can I get the recordings? Yes, the recordings, after each week, they will be under the topic. So what we're doing is under this topic, I haven't put yesterday's up because it has been a busy week. They'll be under the topic here. So like that call, yesterday's will be right here. And then the next one will be under the next one. And you can actually ask questions. So we've made it forum based so that you can ask questions for the next week. And if you can't attend, I'll answer it. I'm going to go into the forum every week and say, hey, what are the questions? And then you can watch the replay. John, are banner ads the best traffic source for a splash page that won't rank well? Depends on your category. I don't know. It might be paid ads, solo ads, banners, social media, YouTube. I don't know. Depends on your traffic and your market. And that's what you're going to find. If someone answered John and said, yes, John, banner ads are the best traffic source, but John didn't tell me what he's marketing, don't listen to that guy because you don't know. Like, I don't know. I need to know what you're marketing. That's why you need the Tuesday calls, because you could be like, hey, dude, are banner ads best for this? This is what I'm promoting. And I'll be like, nah, here's why this is best. And I'll show you what to do. And if you like this stuff, we can't do this on YouTube because there's so many variables with the sites. So I can't really pull up your guys' sites because I don't know what I'm going to see. And also, you know what? I want you to pay for it. I've been doing this 21 years. If you want to pay for it, you make it work. And it's a business, right? This is how I make a living on this site. And so we look at that and it's like, okay, if you want the tips, you can go in there and make it work. But here we can't really do like site reviews and stuff. Should I make different articles for the same sentence but in different words? No, that would be called article spinning, and we don't want to do that. You're the boss. You're a boss, Marcus. If I had found you before, I would have not wasted 2 years of my life. Yeah, lots of people come to me and they're like, I've wasted $10,000 trying to learn this, or $100,000. I think the record, I met a couple that spent $225,000 trying to learn this business, and they got nothing to show for it, right? And if you go in here, you're there every week. The only way it's not going to work is if you don't show up and you quit. That's it, right? Now, again, results not typical, implied, or guaranteed. I don't know what you're going to get, but you know what? It's pretty cut and dry. Once you learn how the internet works, it's pretty simple. Cher says, hello, sir. I only see numbers and I didn't get a single cent. What does that even mean? What's the reason, despite my implementation of a large number of strategies, but they're all free? Well, I mean, you could make money with free strategies. People do it all the time. But without knowing what you did, I can't really help you, which is why you should get in the Blog Profit Network. Siva says, such a nice guy. I know you back from 8 years. Awesome. Marcus, I would like to get the Market Flipper Day 1 video from 2015. We are working on putting them in the Blog Profit Network forum. I'm having trouble with them, so my programmer is going to have to help me. But we are trying to put them in there. It's going to be under Market Flipper training. Edward, Marcus, how do I get access to Blog Profit Network? Write Tina on support. She'll help you. Where can I outsource content to write from Africa? I don't know, like, from Africa where to get it, but the top sites we had here are these. Would I make a separate post for the same sentence? No. No, you want to go one. Like, I'm only going to make one for, you know, puppy biting or whatever it is. I'm not going to make a million. Unless it's something specific, like puppy biting shoes. Maybe I'll make one for that. So I want to focus exactly on what people want. And I don't want to bombard it. Like, I don't want to make 1,000 videos or articles on whatever it is, right? I want to make it very specific, very strategic. And if I do it strategic, that's the key. All right. Any other questions, let me know, and we will get you rocking and rolling. Again, that's blogprofitnetwork.com. You can click the link on the bottom. As soon as you sign up, you'll get logins. The logins will lead you into this page here where you can interact. This is locked, so like if you try to go on this, it's not going to load because you got to buy the course first. And then it'll walk you through everything, the plugins, the reports, Tuesday calls, everything. And it is a work in progress. It's brand new, so we're adding to it all the time. Where can I outsource content writer? Right there, there's the list. If you need the list, go to getwebsitecontent.com and get the list. Pretty simple. All right, guys. And that's the dealio. Any questions on content, let me know. And Blog Profit Network is ridiculously awesome. Like, if you're not in that, you're probably not serious about making money online. Because I think, you know, $127 is a pretty small drop in the bucket. And if you're like, Marcus, oh, I want free stuff, I don't want to pay for anything, that's fine. There's a lot of free stuff here on YouTube. I just gave you an outline that you can use to make this stuff work. You just got to do it. Where do you get your domains and hosting? I get it at gohubsite.com. GoHub, H-U-B, site.com. That's my site that'll walk you through how I do hosting and everything. Can you rank your Google Doc? Yeah, Google Docs rank all the time. All right, guys, any other questions? Let me know. Best affiliate network website to use? The one that has the offer you need. There is no best affiliate network. I need the one that has the offer. So if there's one that has the pet insurance offer and I have a pet site, I'm going to sign up with them. Plain and simple. Far too many people are looking for the best thing for X, Y, or Z. And until you know what you're doing, this is why this is structured the way it is. Like when you go on Blog Profit Network, this is structured in a specific way. We find our niche, find our traffic, find our offer, then we build. We don't do it in a different way. Like, I'm not going to tell you the best network. I don't know. Best network for you might not be the best network for me. It all has to do with the offer I need. So it's very important that you focus. We also have a video going up I'm going to put up today about how to get accepted to the CPA networks. Can you use a sales letter as content? Of course. Yeah, it's the late Corey Rudel used to say, educate, inform, and sell more. Educate, inform, and sell more. If you educate your market through content, teach them something, then you're going to sell. That's what I did. I had people outsource my article. I made it into a webinar. We've had over 1,500 people watch this webinar so far. And now I'm selling the thing. And you're watching it live. That's all it is. I educate you. How many of you guys got something? Type it in the box. Put it in the comments. Say, I got something from this. I learned something today. I want you to type that. I learned something today. And that is exactly what I'm showing you how to do. You say, well, Marcus, these gurus don't practice what they preach. I'm showing you exactly what it is. Now, I do this on multiple niches. I've done this from like happy face niche, where it's a simple content, to niches about mortgages, which is complicated, or money, or whatever. Doesn't matter what you do. And yes, I do this and I make money in the affiliate marketing, blogging, make money niche. Do it all the time. A business is a business is a business. And if we look at that, we focus and say, hey, that's exactly what he's doing, right? And we focus. Nikki, good to have you here. He says he's new, or she. You do it. Hey, man, how you doing? It's been a while. Roger, right? I believe it's Roger. I don't remember. My brain is old and tired. Fine niche, fine offer. Number 3, write content. Number 3 is write your content. What do you think of online gaming niche? Personally, like if you're going to do video based, I think that's where that niche is. However, I did do a high ticket niche for gaming, which was pretty cool. So it's good. There's a lot of traffic in it. Just find the low competition. A lot of people learned a lot. Martin says, SEO is super important to get traffic. The backbone for SEO are backlinks. Okay, great. That's fine. Cool. My kid's picking up lunch. So the benefits of having driving kids is they get you lunch. All right. Cool. How do I become an affiliate for your Blog Profit Network? First, you got to sign up. I'd like you to actually sign up to be an affiliate so I can help you with it. So just go to blogprofitnetwork.com. And then after you log in, you can click on Get Paid to Promote Blog Profit Network, and I'll show you how to do that. Cool. Yeah. Are we doing a meetup? I haven't paid attention to it. I know I took over one of the YouTube groups on Meetup, but I don't know what to do with it. All right. Awesome, guys. So how many posts do you need per week? Depends on your keyword. Like I could probably get by with, a couple. I don't need thousands. But again, you get what you put into it. So if I do like 10 a week, I'm going to get more results than if I do like 1 a week. Your video of 47 niches, sat here and wrote so many down. Got the paper in front of me now. Yeah, that was a fun video. I like doing that one. Marcus, have a phone like calculator. Yeah, I have to have a big phone because my eyes don't see well. Like when I get glasses, they're like huge. But at any rate, I got contacts most of the time. All right, guys, I think that's about it for today. Hop over to blogprofitnetwork.com. Get signed up. If you're looking for free stuff, go to getwebsitecontent.com. We'll send that out to you free. But I think if you guys like this stuff, get into Blog Profit Network. You'll love it. What about the catering equipment niche? It would depend. I mean, off my head, I would think the traffic would be low. But Selena, I would say get in the Blog Profit Network and ask that on your first Tuesday call. Yeah, pretty cool. All right, guys. Any other questions? I think that's about it for today. Make sure you subscribe, click the bell, put lots of comments, give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you next week.